And I'm David. We are getting down to the end of Big Brother
You
here.
guys! There's final 3 right now!
Alright, so we are covering 2 huge episodes.
Yes.
2 eviction episodes,
Yes.
Wednesday and Thursday. Lots going on here.
And things took a turn.
Yeah.
Things took a turn. Okay,
Unexpected.
so we start Wednesday.
Yes.
With assuming that Sam was going to be evicted, and we knew that Casey had won veto, but we get to see it.
Yeah, right.
The maze comp, which was interesting.
Right, which was her 4th veto win, I believe.
Yes.
So she is on a roll still.
A bit of a comp win role in general.
Yeah. So then she does not change the nominations, of course, because Angela's HOH and she's loyal to level 6.
Yes.
So Sam and JC are our final nominees. But Sam kind of still thinks that she's safe with Tyler going into the eviction and like maybe she has a chance of staying.
I mean, they didn't really tell the nominees much.
Yeah.
You know, level 6 has kind of gotten into the habit of just comforting and assuring everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's okay, I think you're fine, but not really giving specifics.
Right.
So even though they could have given Sam a heads up and just been like, we love you, but it's probably going to be this, you know.
Yeah.
They just have never done that for whatever reason. So they were assuring her.
Yes.
And so when the votes were read 2-0,
Sam's evicted.
Sam, you're evicted.
She just
was
kind
a
of,
little shocked.
Yeah.
A little flustered.
She kind of just had this like spacey look on her face, like.
And also,
Am I
it's
in
a
a
Tuesday.
dream?
This was
Yeah.
a Tuesday. They were surprised in general.
Absolutely.
That this is happening.
No
and
one was
as
dressed for an
Sam
eviction.
said in her speech,
Yeah.
I didn't know we were having company today.
Yeah. Yeah, she does this speech that's just sort of like, I don't even know what to
What's
say.
it? Yeah, typical Sam.
Yeah.
But honestly, her eviction is my favorite eviction ever of all time. She was just in true Sam form, completely confused, doesn't understand leaving the house.
Yeah.
As much as she hated the house, it was like a comfort.
Exactly.
You know?
Right. She
And
wasn't
then
ready for that change.
having to walk out the door. She almost didn't open that second door to the audience.
She was kind of stuck in that tunnel
Yeah.
for like a few seconds and they were like, you can do it, Sam.
And then she's like waving back to them.
Right. They're like all waving and they're waving to the
audience,
public,
yeah.
to the audience, to people they haven't seen in 87 days. And Sam's like, oh, bye. Are you waving to me? And then she just kind of wanders out to
And
Julie.
she's like, Julie, where do I go? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved it.
It was
because
so
it was
cute.
just so purely Sam.
And yeah, it really was true to who she is until the very end. And she really had no bad blood for Tyler from this.
Of course not. Oh
You know?
gosh, why would she have
Yeah.
any bad blood for Tyler?
Yeah.
You know, Sam took us on a ride this
did.
season,
Woo.
but I'll tell you what, I will never forget her.
Nope, she is an iconic house guest
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. For maybe some different reasons than usual, but still.
Yeah.
Memorable.
Now we get to see an HOH competition at the end of
boy.
Wednesday's episode.
Something
that
I think we thought we'd never see.
turned everything on its head when JC won the HOH top 4. His ticket to the final 3 is guaranteed. What?
Okay. Okay.
That's not the level 6 playbook.
No, it is not.
So
JC, big old goose egg, no win.
Yes.
And
nothing.
then accidentally wins this HOH.
But fair and square, nobody was throwing it. Everybody's gunning for it, right?
Yeah, well, when I obviously heard the spoilers ahead of time that JC won, and I'm like, wait, what? But then watching it, you know, it was what the bleep. So, like, these aren't things you memorize.
Right.
These are not things you've studied all season long. These were just conversations.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of just figure out some logic, some what does that person usually say, things like that.
And some of it's just
and
guesswork.
JC was really just good at thinking like, oh yeah, it was probably this. And shockingly, Tyler and Casey, well, Casey was really bad at it. But Tyler was just 1 point behind JC, and legitimately JC guessed his way through that.
Yeah. So then, you know, we see a little bit of level 6, like having to pretend that they're excited for JC. Like, oh my God, your first comp win. When in reality, we all know that he was the next to go home, right?
Right.
But now that's not going to happen. And that's how we end Wednesday's episode.
Well. JC is now in charge, and we know he has a hatred for Angela.
Right.
He can't stand how close Tyler and Angela are.
And he also has been talking about Angela and Casey for a long time,
Yes.
campaigning to Brett. We need to put Angela and Casey on the block next to one another.
So I assumed when I heard that JC won that he was going to put Casey and Angela on the block.
I wouldn't have been surprised, certainly, but that's not what happens.
That's not what happened.
On Thursday's episode, we see there's not a lot of discussion before we get to the noms
they don't
in Thursday's
show us any
episode.
talk whatsoever.
I guess, you know, just because there's like 4 people left and like what do they really have to discuss at this point? His mind is made up. So they go to do the nominations. Of course, Angela's the first one. That's sort of a given.
Yeah.
And she's his real target.
Yeah.
Then he puts Tyler up, calls him a bitch. Tell him it was a bitch move to put him on the block, you know, a couple weeks or a couple evictions earlier.
The double eviction.
Yes. So that was a little unexpected, and Tyler like kind of rolls his eyes and is like pissed that he's on the block.
I mean, honestly, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And I don't know if JC is just thinking, haha, I'm gonna get you back.
Right.
But he's not really gunning for
I'm gonna
him.
teach you a lesson,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna evict you.
Right.
Right.
Or, I don't know, you know, legitimately, JC kind of saw Tyler showing he's not that close to JC.
Yeah.
If he was willing to make a move that he didn't talk to JC about at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously going to scare JC because JC thinks they're tight and they have a final 2.
Yeah. Now we've got Tangela on the block, everybody's favorite showmance of the season.
Together.
But really the only thing that matters, as everyone knows, is the veto for this, right? JC has guaranteed his ticket into the final 3, but in terms of who's going to get evicted, it comes down to who wins veto. So everybody's gunning for it at this point. JC wants it because he wants to keep noms the same. And then the other 3 want it to guarantee their ticket to the final 3.
Now, I wonder if Tyler actually wanted it.
Well, he is the one, I think.
On one hand, obviously he wants to be safe, but he also has set himself up in this position where everyone trusts him.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking him.
Yeah.
No one wants him out. Did he really want to win it and have to be the one to evict Angela?
Yeah. I think he had the most difficult decision in terms of like, do I want to win veto? But at the end of the day, I think Tyler's there to win, and he is a super fan. I think he really would want to guarantee his safety no matter what. Like, what a foolish move it would be for him to throw this veto because he doesn't want to have to pick between Angela and Casey, and then one of them turns around and stabs him in the back. Like, you just can't take that risk. So I do think Tyler was gunning for it.
Yeah.
But he was the second one out in the veto. It comes down to Casey and Angela on who's going to win veto. And sure enough, Casey wins her 5th veto of the season.
Boy, can I just tell you that Casey and Angela are just amazing physical female house guests.
Yes.
Like, those girls came to play, and I love watching that.
Absolutely, yes.
That part I love.
Yeah, so now Casey is the one left with this difficult decision. This is not where level 6 wanted to be. None of them want to evict each other, but she's the one who has to stand and face Tyler and Angela and evict one of them. So we see that happen live.
So the feeds obviously were on a bit of a blackout because they taped Wednesday's episode on Tuesday and they kept us in the dark until Wednesday's episode aired. So all we really got were last night's feeds after Casey had won this veto that we just saw play out on Thursday's episode.
Right.
And you see JC sort of talking and clinging to Casey. As if, like, they're now buds. As if they're the 2 in charge of this house.
It's sort of this, like, I'm HOH and you hold the veto, so, like, let's put our heads together and figure out who we're gonna send home. And he's trying to, you know, make this LGBT connection with her.
Which
and,
I think is valid. They've brought that up a lot.
For sure, but he's, like, trying to, like, build up this relationship, I think. Who knows if Casey's buying it, but they're sort of huddled together. Figuring out who she's gonna send home. Right,
and he was definitely feeding her a little bit of like, I think we beat Tyler. I think we definitely beat Tyler. Angela's smart, but Tyler's not as smart. You know, doing his typical JC stuff because he's blinded by his love for Tyler and his hatred for Angela.
And he thinks he controls Tyler, but he doesn't.
And then Casey, you know, she didn't give a lot of info back.
No.
You know, obviously, she's not really aligned with JC.
Right.
She's aligned with Tyler and Angela.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, what do we do? Let's talk about it later. That's like, yeah, we should definitely talk it through, though. Yep.
But we know that Casey has a final 2 with Tyler, and that's probably what she's gonna honor at this point, going into this live eviction.
And then her conversations with Tyler and Angela are a little bit more like, oh God, you guys, I love you both. Like this is so hard. And Angela never really put up a fight. You know, Angela and Tyler definitely had their like wow, this sucks. I can't
Yeah.
believe one of us is gonna go. This is so hard for Casey. Like, they both seemed understanding and
Yeah.
supportive of each other.
Yeah.
And didn't want to, like, push. So Angela never goes to Casey and is like, look, girl,
Yeah.
you and I, we got this, we got this.
Yes.
And Tyler didn't have to, because all he went, you know, he goes up to Casey and she's like, you and I, here we go. And so it's like, just
right.
set in stone.
And Angela and Tyler, I think, don't want to campaign against each other in any way. So they're just kind of like, I mean, luckily Tyler can be like, well, you know, we got a final two. It's a pain between the two of us. Like, that's all he has to really do. He doesn't have to say like, Angela, like, we got to get her out. Like, she's a threat. He never has to do any of that.
When Casey does stand up and give her speech to evict Angela, though, like, I definitely had the feels.
Yeah.
Because love them or hate them, that group was tight.
They were. And you could see the tears kind of like welling up in Casey's eyes when Julie was like explaining, like, you have to stand up and face Tyler and Angela and evict one of them live right now. Like, you can see Casey's already getting emotional.
Yeah.
And Tyler and Angela just had love in their speech, you know? Like, each of them were like, we respect you, we love you, like, talking to everybody in the house, like, we're all so close, we're bonded for life. Like, it was all positive, which I'm sure makes it even harder for Casey to get up there and, like, break somebody's heart and ruin someone's dream.
Look, I'm hook, line, and sinker that those three are going to be best friends forever.
Yeah.
And maybe even Brett, too. I don't know. But those three for sure. Are gonna be tight.
Yeah, because they never lied to each other the whole game.
They really didn't.
And that's rare in Big Brother, you know?
Tyler did keep some secrets, but they didn't really flat out lie to each other. And they definitely never backstabbed or, you know, went against those three.
Now, the thing that just confused me a little bit about Casey's speech was she ends it with, this is purely a game move. I'm evicting Angela.
Look, you guys have to remember what we know versus what they know.
Yes, you're right.
To her, she had a final two with Tyler from the beginning, and that's the game move.
That's what she's been playing this whole season.
We know that Tyler might have had his hands in a bit more than Casey.
Yeah.
And it would have been a big game move for her to evict Tyler.
Yeah,
but she doesn't know that.
She doesn't know that. But the one thing that I thought was, Casey says, she all but acknowledges in her speech that Angela is a villain, right? She talks about how people have been talking trash about Angela, but I know the real you and this and that. And I'm like, put two and two together and bring the villain with you. If you know that people don't like Angela, then you should assume that people aren't going to vote for her to win and you could beat her. So maybe evicting Tyler's a better move. But she doesn't do that.
She does not do that.
So it's a moot point.
Angela is evicted in a very tearful goodbye. She has a brief interview with Julie, and then the goodbye messages were just as endearing.
Yeah.
And Casey's is first, and she does say, sorry, I had a final two with Tyler before level 6 was formed, and that's true.
It's true.
And then Tyler's, oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Secret 1.
I had the...
Casey's final 2.
Right.
Secret 2.
I had the Cloud app.
The Power app. Secret 3. I never thought I'd fall in love with you.
But I love you. That's it. It was so cute. Which is like...
It was.
Oh my
you guys,
God.
come on. If you didn't find that cute, you don't have a heart.
Yeah. So here we are. Final 3. Casey, Tyler, and JC. Not what anybody expected, but JC threw a nice wrench in the system and shook things up a little bit.
I wondered if we were going to be here, but via a different route.
Sure.
You know, we questioned Tyler and JC, but that's not what happened.
Tyler didn't have to save JC. He saved himself.
Yep, JC got us here.
Yeah.
So next week we will do more of a who wins final 2 prediction video.
Yeah.
But right now, Tyler and Casey very much are planning for you and I are going to win this final HOH.
Yeah.
One of you takes physical, one of you takes the mental one.
Yeah.
And leave JC behind. I don't know that that's really Tyler's plan. I believe it's Casey's plan.
Yeah.
But either way, this is our final 3, and we have 2 members of the LGBT community, which is a first.
Yes, and 2 super fans in the final 3.
2 super fans,
which is huge. Casey and Tyler love this game so much.
Casey and Tyler know this game and love this game, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. Now, one thing we should talk about before we go is this epic jury segment that we got in the Thursday episode. We finally got a sense of where the folks in the jury are sitting and how they're feeling, who's behind whom. There's a little bit more bitterness against Tyler than I expected to see. Haley, even though Tyler was sort of instrumental in her eviction, she's like, I respect him gameplay-wise.
Right.
But there's a lot more people who are like, ugh, Tyler, you know?
Bailey was vocal about...
And Rockstar was like, I wanted Tyler out.
Yep. I mean, obviously they all hate Angela, but they're going to be relieved that Angela walks through that door.
There's a lot of love for Casey, though, and a lot of recognition for the good gameplay that Casey has had now that she keeps winning these competitions.
They're seeing her win the competitions, and she hasn't crossed anybody. No one has any hatred towards her.
Yeah, so I was surprised to see that I sort of had an inclination that maybe Casey could be Tyler. Now it's more of a real possibility for me, seeing how the jury's reacting. Like, I really think if it comes down to Casey and Tyler, Tyler has more blood on his hands and Casey might pull out a win, and I think deservedly so. I think she has an equal case to make against Tyler, and the jury may be more willing to award her the money than Tyler.
I loved the moment when Sam was evicted, or she's showing the tape of her eviction, and she's expressing that she thought she was good because she had a final 2 with Tyler, and she's saying it like it's new. It reminded me of last year, the jury segment where everyone was like, but I had a final 2 with Paul. And they were like, wait, I had a final 2 with Paul.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Sam's like, I had final 2 with Tyler, and Brett was like,
yeah, me too.
And they were like, a few of us did.
Yeah, and Scotty's like, oh, I guess Tyler never really had my back.
Now, Scotty, though, is going to be respectful of the game.
I think
we know that about Scotty.
For sure.
Now he's learning more about Tyler, but does that make him a stronger game player in Scotty's eye, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is, if you get down to Tyler and Casey, you don't have to say like, oh, Tyler stabbed me in the back, but gotta respect gameplay, because Casey also has great gameplay. It's not like there's one
stab you in the back.
Yeah, there's not like there's one great game player and one person who didn't really do anything, so you have to begrudgingly give the great game player the win.
Yeah.
If it's Casey and Tyler, it's 2 great game players, but one of them maybe stabbed more people in the back.
And you know what? Honestly, JC was also a pretty darn good game player.
Yeah.
I have some issues with a couple things that he did this season, but he played some mind games. He orchestrated some evictions, so all 3 of them have a potential to win this game this season.
That's right. So I'm very excited to see who wins this final HOH. If JC wins again, I'm going to be blown away.
Well, Sunday we have a recap episode, right? We'll look back over the season.
And then they'll start the first HOH competition, right?
And remember, this is a 3-parter, so it's not like one person just off and wins.
Right.
We've got some layers to this final HOH, and then they will pick who they take to final 2, which will be next week, you guys.
Next Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll be back before that with our final 2 predictions and winner conversation.
Yeah.
And then we'll be Wednesday with the finale, recapping that.
So exciting.
What do you guys think about this crazy JC win at the last minute?
Yes.
What do you think about our top 3?
Let us know what you think, and we will see you guys next time.
Ooh, okay, bye.
Bye.